I guess we have the best director here, Isaac, in the background. But welcome back to the show. It's the AM Club on MX24 TV. It's time for Lifestyle Daily. We're about to jump into national discussions. But before that, I have something for you. There's nothing more pleasing than Top Choco chocolate spread on bread. It has the power to awaken your taste buds and make you happy instantly. Totally. The Top Choco 3-in-1 instant mixed chocolate drink is suitable for preparing both cold chocolate milkshakes and cups of delicious hot chocolate. Just add hot water. Introducing the latest addition to our Top Choco family, the Top Choco Cup, which is suitable for everyone and will surely be a crowd pleaser. Children can take it to school and imagine serving these cups at birthday parties, picnics, or any other gathering. This chocolatey treat will definitely make their day. Get your hands on the Top Choco Cup today and experience the joy of chocolate spread in a cup. Remember, Top Choco is made with love in Ghana using only the finest ingredients. Top Choco, it's chocolatey. Because of chocolatey. It's chocolatey. Anyways, two fine gentlemen have joined us this morning for our discussion. Darlington A. Cranting is a youth activist and an SRC presidential hopeful for GIMPA. And then Benjamin Kwame Amankwa, a good friend, is a marketing and communications consultant. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Good weekend for you guys?
Amazing weekend, restful.
Really?
Yes.
You're not angst at all?
Oh, not at all.
Zero anxiety?
Not at all.
That's different.
That's very good.
That's very different. You can really run for president.
Oh, yeah, we are focused.
I'd have thought you wouldn't be sleeping, like anxiety.
Oh, we have to rest.
Okay.
It's not your first election, is it?
It's not my first election.
So
Okay.
you've experienced this before.
Yes.
You know what
Okay.
it is like.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen, let's get into the crux of the matter. Should we start with...
I mean, I would have thought that the Adjust Folk topic is very topical, but for some reason, it doesn't really have my attention.
Me too. I was going to say, should we go to the ECs?
I actually Kennedy Japan, and
But
the
before
fact
that,
that
let me ask him, is GIMPA within Udom Kwabenya or is
No.
Ayawaso?
Ayawaso.
Ayawaso.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, it would have been a good time to start off with
Yeah.
Adjust Folk, but I think we may just wrap up with that one.
Yeah.
But let's go to Kennedy Japan, one of the four that will be vying for the 4th of November elections. And one of the things that have been happening ever since he really shared his intentions is the fact that people think that he is there's a supposed description for a presidential candidate, and people have put him in a certain category that he doesn't have the temper, he doesn't have that aura, he doesn't carry a certain ambience to say that, okay, that is what a president should look like. Now, he's been speaking. He started off his proper campaign after the balloting, and then he's been saying that he's been collaborating with professors, lecturers, when questioning about his intellectual capability or capacity to run this country. He says that, well, even if you don't trust me, I have good trust in these lecturers and these professors. I'm engaging them and doctors, and they're going to help me, maybe put me in a position in the light that you want me to look like. What do you think? I want you to assess Kennedy Japan on the presidential material. The Constitution really does not describe who you should look.
Yeah.
It only gives you a requirement.
Yes.
But conventionally and traditionally, you start to look at somebody from a certain perspective, previous presidents and all of that. But describe him.
I think it's more so of a perception that we created in this country. If we were to look into the U.S., for instance, we said Trump was not presidential. Then he won the Republican primaries. And then we woke up after Election Day and he was president. So we cannot tag Kennedy as not being presidential material. I think everyone is capable of running for elections, but there's this perception that, per my view, Ghanaians have where they feel like someone has to be in a certain category or portray certain characteristics to be able to go for the position of president. However, I think he's engaging, he's working, he's on ground, and he's doing what he has to do. And the point is that we're going into this primaries hoping for the best, and whoever comes atop, the party is definitely going to support the
He
president.
acknowledges the fact that he knows that he has a temper issue. You don't think it matters at all? Like today, the president is going to be delivering maybe a speech at the General Assembly, and our president really doesn't have temper issues. Like he has, like imagine he has temper issues. He's acknowledged it. he said that he has temper issues, but he thinks that people should take him like that because he's better off showing you his bad side than the others who have not shown you.
I think we should try and focus on his good side as well. More so what he brings to the table as a presidential candidate, and if given the mandate, what he's capable of doing. I think that's where the focus should be. However, we should definitely consider the temper as well. If he's willing to work on it, why not? We'll consider it.
Ben,
yeah,
do you like Kennedy Japan?
Not really. I've written several articles against him, and in fact, I was one of the people pushing for the fact that he should be removed from Parliament when he made that ethnocentric comment against Evis. You know, I'm a typical Evi, and I believe in my people. Now, before I even come to his qualification as even presidential material, let me say that you don't need to be a Jewish prophet to know that Kennedy Japan has no credentials to be president of Ghana. Indeed, we'll be plunging Ghana into a deep abyss and an unpredictable situation if we
Why
allow...
do you like using big English?
Maybe because I'm a language person. If we allow the likes of Kennedy Japan to become president, unfortunately for us, our society itself is gravitating towards a certain direction that I think that is a recipe for disaster. Why are people vouching for Kennedy Japan? But I'll tell you why. You see, the diplomacy, the people who have been kind, soft-spoken, they have failed us over the years. Let's take South Africa. The likes of Julius Malema are rising up, and the same thing, Kennedy Japan is rising up over here. It is not because he's a presidential material or he's qualified to be. It is because people that we have put faith and trust in over the years, they have failed us. The soft-spoken people gave the chance to President Mahama. They think that he disappointed them. People gave the chance to President Kufuor. People thought that he disappointed them. And now Akufo-Addo. People thought that he's a gentleman, he could do it, he's a lawyer. But look at the mess we are in. He has absolutely turned the country upside down.
But how does that affect your policies and how you run a country?
Now, I'll tell you, Kennedy Japan is someone who I can be speaking on MS24 TV right now, mention his name that he's not fit for president, and he will send military people to come arrest me. That is the kind of president you are going to vouch for. Democracy is not going to work. This is somebody who lost elections on the ground. And just very day, he took a phone and called vice president on the phone and told him he was going to give him a showdown.
But the vice president is now using the term showdown. If there was anything wrong with
I'm saying that diplomacy requires that is going forward to a presidential election, putting himself to the high office of the president. It's not someone where you say, I've lost my temper, and you can just call a vice president. In fact, if we are a serious country, Kennedy Japan should have faced the full rigors of the law for that.
For what?
It's an insult to the vice president. It's a threat.
Show is a show.
I'll tell you. That is an assault. When you come to law, let me also tell you that I'm also a law student.
Okay.
But when you come to assault, the threat of fear of harming someone.
Showdown?
It's showdown. What is showdown?
Darlington showdown. If I promise, are you going to give us a showdown on Tuesday?
I will give a showdown. Definitely give a showdown. It is not it is a threat, but it is not assault. Let's be clear regarding
that.
to that.
Threat? Okay, can it even pass to be a threat?
It's an assault.
It's not an assault. You can't put it as an assault.
Okay.
One, in terms of an assault, you are given the threat, and then you are capable of doing it. Kennedy Japan was nowhere close to the vice president. However, he said, "I'll give you a showdown." It did not.
It could be entertainment.
Yes. First of all, mere words cannot equate to assault. Mere words do not equate to assault.
I mean,
now let me go. You see, you were on the path, but you deviated. You said first it has to be a fear. Then we have to see the capacity of the person carrying out the threat.
Whether the fear must be eminent, yes.
Yes. These are two opposing parties who has gone into election. You understand? And the other person has won. And he called. Look at the demeanor. Was he smiling when he said, I'll give you a showdown? So he wasn't smiling. He was angry. What shows that Kennedy Japan has not gotten the resources to
to maybe call Samini to go and perform.
That is exactly
showdown, because I would have thought showdown is an entertainment.
No, we need to look at the mood in which the person is.
Why are you recruiting me to look at it from the way you want
Exactly.
to?
No, I'm not forcing you to look at it.
I'm actually,
but
I'm just talking for people who may be watching.
In regards to the mood, if in the mood, if I say I'll give you a showdown, meaning we are in a competition,
I will
give
win.
you a showdown.
Darlington,
I will give you a showdown.
If we are speaking here,
are we considering the emotional state of the person when he said that? Because he was clearly and visibly angry.
Exactly. That is the point I'm
If I say
making.
I'll give you a showdown, that we were sitting here and I'm smiling and I say I'll give you a showdown, you will not consider it.
Exactly.
Okay. But if I get angry and I said, if I'm going to give you a showdown, you take it differently.
Of course. Okay. That's the point I'm making.
Has the vice president taken it differently? I've not seen,
Well,
because he's using the term now.
You see, the vice president may not take it as it should be taken. But it is not up to the vice president to take it the way he wants. It is up to Ghanaians to determine how we interpret the action. Let me tell you why the vice president will not take it seriously. It is an internal party matter, and they need to deal with it internally. But we are looking at the vice president as the vice president of Ghana, not
my last question.
The discipline committee,
They're dealing with matters that arose during the elections, but as to whether that specific one, I don't know.
It shouldn't be left to the disciplinary committee of
I'm
MPP.
asking, did they call him to?
Yeah, I think they call him the MPP. But I think the parliament should have called Kennedy Japon, and the issue has.
Why? Because of what he said?
Oh, yeah, of course. You can't threaten the vice president. Okay, Mr. Nambo, if I call.
At the time, he was presidential. He was at the time he was contesting.
Vice president.
He's still the vice president of Ghana.
Okay.
He's still the vice president.
Yes, but he was his competitor at the time.
It doesn't matter. He's still the current vice president of Ghana.
Exactly.
Oh, then that gives him a more immunity. Certain things he can say to maybe Adenimo and it will pass. You can't say it to
it's true. That's a fact. That's the point.
Okay. My final question on this Canadian Japan would be that you mentioned that let's really focus on his policies and what he can do. Is there a requirement for you to pass the moral test? The president, should you? And what do we term as moral? A person of a high moral status in this country. Does it require that, or is just the judicial people that we are concerned about their moral?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I know it's more so.
Sorry, he's our dictionary in school, so this one is for my personal use. I'm asking.
Not that I know of. I think it's more so the judiciary sector.
Okay.
But not that I know.
We don't know whether for you to become a president, you should pass the
possess some moral.
You should possess some moral. But I like to think that if the judges and all these people in the judiciary must pass this test, then your standard will even be higher. I like to think. It's not implied. But
I personally think the judiciary should be higher because you are determining the lives of the Ghanaian people. If you come to court, you are going to make judgment on cases and people's lives. They have to have a certain level of moral character.
Okay.
You just don't come in and based on certain moral character, you just make certain decisions which are going to affect people in the long run. Whatever decision they make become precedent, indirectly become policies. So it's very much important that we do that with the judiciary sector. Yes.
My little government that I studied, I think it is, I don't know if it's enshrined in the Constitution that anyone who seeks to be president must be of good moral standing in society.
We have not found it. We don't. It may be there, but we don't know.
I think I've seen something like that.
It's possible. And sometimes things are implied, not because it's written black and white.
The good moral standing, no. I wanted to ask you, beyond the anger, what would be Kennedy Japan's flaw for him not to be president?
I'll give you 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
Give me 5.
That's a lot. Give me 2.
Okay. Kennedy Japan, during the heat of a debate, said that the other tribe, incited other tribe against the people of the Volta region. That is not someone who wants to, the kind of comment that should
pass.
Yes.
Okay.
Not necessarily tribalistic. We are all tribalistic in a way. But the way he put it and looking at his status as a member of parliament, you understand?
He was under anger, isn't it? Yeah. He gets angry.
And I'm telling you that someone who cannot control his anger, who thinks that if I feel like slapping Mr. Nambo, I should slap him, I shouldn't control.
I think when he
cannot be the president of Ghana.
He'll be guided and guarded. What do you think?
Guided.
Yeah.
When he is now having unlimited power to do what he wants, he can do.
No, your powers are quite restricted as well. It's not like your powers are...
Seriously.
Well, anyway,
give and take.
Let's talk about...
Yeah. Give and take. Baumia and Japan, who would you choose to be president of Ghana? If you had just these 2 people.
Well, I'll choose none of them.
But you have to choose somebody.
In fact, then I will not vote at all. I prefer dying than choosing between Canada, Japan, and this. Some choices you need to find for the third option. You actually nailing me to the wall. I refused that invitation to choose between them. Because you see...
And this one, I have to be biased. For the purpose of our Tuesday elections, Darlington can answer that question.
You can't answer that, yeah.
Would you like to attempt it?
I mean, what I would say is that, it is what the party wants and what the people want. If he's able to say, whoever sails through the primaries will have the support of the MPP party, and then when we go to national, it is the Ghanaian people that are going to push whoever they want. And Ghanaians do remember what the government have done for them. They remember during the Mahama administration, they will remember what Nado did, and they will determine if they want to retain or they want to change. So we are hoping when the time comes.
On November 4?
No, wait, they're going to...
So basically, it's a process. The party chooses their candidate, they push their candidate. When election day comes next year...
They will look at Nanado's this thing,
It matters. Whether about me or Kennedy, they're definitely going to look at the current government's progress and effort in the country. And they're also going to remember what was done in the previous government. And they will determine if they want to retain or they want to go back to yesterday's.
That's interesting.
Okay. I was going to ask, what will you tell your 18-year who's acquiring the card tomorrow about? Because when you take 4 years out of 18, they may have been 14. So they're unable to measure what happened in the previous government. So how would you speak to them to make them take an informed decision? But that's on the side. We can have that conversation. But talking about how your 18-year can acquire a voter registration the voter ID. So again, you may have heard about the commentaries and a lot. Here's law and what people think. People have been contesting Article 42. One of them, like, forgotten my articles, but contesting why the EC must, create the register and allow people to have voter ID. But also saying that the EC says the most sanitized and safe way for them to have their ID cards done for citizens of the country is to do it at the district level. We all know that the NDC and 4 others were pursuing that, there'll be an injunction. Some citizens have also, a particular person who's even cited and asked that she be cited for contempt and all. But again, Darlington, because you're about to taste the elections, and so let's go on what the true requirement of the EC is and the expectations of the people and what the law really, really mandates the EC to do.
Give me a second. So first, I think it falls on the EC to be able to open registration so we can get Ghanaians that are not registered to register. I think now is the time to start the whole process. We cannot wait till next year to have registration. It's going to be hectic, and it's an election year. Even though it's going to happen, if we start the process now, it will be beneficial to get younger folks, 18 and above, to be able to register. Fun fact, I need to register myself. So it will be a pleasure for me to do that, to be able to exercise my franchise when the time comes. So my main concern is the distances people have to take to go and register. That's been my only major concern. Accessibility is very important, and I've noticed that we have a problem of accessibility here. People having access to the law, people having access to resources, people going to register. That is my concern. It falls on the EC to ensure that they make it available for all Ghanaians that need to register to be able to do so. And with the exception of that, I think they are doing their mandate as per the Constitution. And with the exception of that, they also have to make sure they protect the registry. So limited registration is important. However, the reason why they're having that limited registration is because they can't just open it like that. They have to protect the registry. They can't just let anyone come and register.
Okay. But Ben, tell me.
The posture of the Electoral Commission of Ghana is a powder keg that is waiting to explode. Consistently, the J. Mensah-led Electoral Commission has demonstrated that instead of being a neutral arbiter, it is a biased referee. And the earlier we look at it as stakeholders in the democracy and the peace that we are enjoying in Ghana, the better for us all. First and foremost, the Nana Akufo-Addo-led administration has packed the Electoral Commission with MPP activists, known MPP people.
This was just recent when he, appointed, is that enough? The number of people that make up the whole EC institution.
I can give you the historical background of each of the commissioners of the EC, in addition to the recent appointment that has been made to the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
And I will tell you why I think that we need to tread cautiously.
Okay.
You see, when we look at the coups that have happened in the sub-region, you realize that most of them, it is because people have lost faith in the institutions of state. Most importantly, institutions like the Electoral Commission. In actual fact, when people lose faith in Electoral Commission and the judiciary, the next avenue is coup. And I wrote a piece yesterday to be published, and I said that all the ingredients of self-destruction is present in the Ghanaian political administration, and it is time that we all take a very good look at it. Why am I saying that? Now, Electoral Commission, you are a referee. Your mandate is to register as many people who are qualified as possible to participate in the electoral process in Ghana. Then Dr. Bosman Asari, one of the commissioners, sits on national television and says that it is not compulsory to register. When your mandate is that you should register as many people as possible. Does the man even know his mandate as an electoral commissioner?
Register persons who have attained the age of 18. Article 42 is quite clear on it.
Yes.
It didn't state whether many
MFA,
or little.
MFA, I'm coming. You said it didn't state whether
As many or little.
Electoral Commission must take steps. Those are the words of the Constitution. Must take steps to expand the electoral register. If you have the article, just read it for me. You see there. It must take steps to expand. So it is your mandate. In actual fact, even if people are qualified and they don't feel like, you should find ways of making it them to register.
Okay.
So it is not in the mouth of the EC to say that it is not compulsory to register.
But when they said limited voter registration, okay, Darlington, let me know when you have found. When they said limited voter registration, I like to think that it meant that it cannot mimic the way it would have been, the national. It means that it already puts a certain restriction on it.
MFA, that's not where the issue is.
Okay.
The issue is that we all know it's limited. Right. This registration is not for you and I who have already registered. What we are saying is that the demographic or the nature of our geographical location is in such a way that people will have to travel 140 kilometers and over to come to the district offices. And it's not as if we have not done it before. What the EC is proposing right now is rather what is novel. We have not seen this kind of
happening in the district.
In the district before. And we are saying that just go by the practice that has been there. So that as many people that are qualified could come in and register.
Absolutely, I think it makes sense.
That is it. I don't know what the EC, and it's not as if you are using your own money.
Is there anybody even offering to help? I was listening to radio. I understand, and I understand the EC was rejecting, saying that it's not compulsory for them to take whatever from the NI, and we're thinking that these are state institutions. If the NI can make the work of the EC easier, why not? They are not the soul, but they are the main body, and given the mandate to register people, to have identification. So if they can help, why is the EC not also allowing the NI to help?
The EC is independent on...
That's fine, but you see, your independence, this is another state institution who wants to help.
But on what grounds? Because it might influence a lot of things.
The Ghana card?
Yes.
No, that is
the point is that the EC should be very independent on their own to be able to do what they want to do. They don't need any influence from anywhere.
Not influence.
No, the independence of the EC is in the interest of Ghanaians. Their independence is not for being independent's sake.
So for example,
that is what people don't understand.
What would they do? What would the NI do?
No, I am not even going to that. See, I have listened to even senior MPP communicators. Titus Glover, for example. You know, it is very difficult in this country to see NDC and MPP agree on an issue.
Absolutely.
Yes, so when
but you're the ones that have implemented free SHS, and it is in your interest that these ones are able to acquire a card and vote for you.
Tell them.
So for whatever reason why they are not part of the four and the NDC that have gone to court is something I like to look into. Okay, but do you genuinely think that this process, as it has started somewhere in the Upper West today, it's not happening? In the last 3 days, it's not been happening because they said what, some assault, no, some sort of attack,
Yeah,
I should say,
people
sorry,
were attacked.
some sort of attack on the EC personnel. But do you think that the process following it from now till today is effective and people are getting really, really registered? The purpose to which the same Article 42 and 45. I think it's for 42, 43,
Yes,
4, and 5.
yeah, it goes down. So, I mean,
Okay.
I can read what it says in 42. So, every citizen of Ghana of 18 years of age or above and of sound mind has the right to vote and is entitled to be registered as a voter for the purpose of public elections and referenda.
Okay,
And then when you go to
45.
45A, the Electoral Commission shall have the following functions. A, to compile the register of voters and revise it as such period as may be determined by law. These are the two things that we should put into consideration. In regards to the process in itself, my only concern, which I stated earlier on, is accessibility, making it accessible for people to register. It is very important. This time, I was reading an article where they mentioned that there are people that had to travel far to get there. The cost of even traveling is like about 300 Ghana cedis,
Yes.
and then you have to bring 2 witnesses,
Yeah.
Your guarantors, if you're,
guarantors and
Yeah.
everything, which is costly.
It's crazy.
Costly to do that. So if the EC can consider a few things in terms of making it very accessible to people, that would be helpful. Honestly,
They say
my
that
take.
it is quite not secure.
I mean, that's the concern too. The other mandate is to make sure that the register is safe and protected.
No,
Yeah,
MFI, the question is,
and then-
what makes the opening of the centers in the various
actually
countries?
not secure.
They say that
I want to understand
your
that.
commuting from where you are to the district office affirms the fact that you really want to own a card, and they can do proper scrutiny. and
seriously?
all of that. I am just telling you what they say.
That argument?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, because they say that the electoral areas, they have control. They don't have control over people that will be bussed, non-Ghanaians. They cited a few reasons that.
No, it couldn't be. Because these elections that we are going to run are going to be run in the constituencies anyway.
It's happening
Oh,
anyway.
Yes,
Darlington.
and even we have local elections coming up this
Exactly.
year.
Yeah.
So I think
That's quite flawed.
See,
I will not say
Darlington
fraud, I will
is
say
saying it.
accessibility.
He's just being very gentleman about
I think we're both saying the same.
Yes.
Accessibility is what we're all talking
Yeah,
about. Make
yeah,
it accessible for
yeah.
anybody who's 18 to be able
But
to
quickly, should
register.
Ajasa says she's contesting.
yes, she is.
If you lived in Dom Kabinga and you
She
had.
said she is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in regards to Adrasafo, she made a public apology to
A party, yeah.
a party leadership and everyone. She intends to contest. When the time comes, the delegates will determine if they still want to go with her or they want
Or
to retain
not.
her. And when the time comes, the youth in that constituent will determine if they want to retain her.
You don't say anything. We'll meet tomorrow. We'll meet tomorrow and discuss it.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, but let me give the last minutes to you. Tomorrow is election day at Gimpa.
Yes.
What you have to say?
First of all, my name is Darlington Cranton. I'm sure you all heard it when I was introduced. I'm running for SRC President of GIMPA. We have a lot of policies, things that are going to be beneficial to the student body. One of them includes a peer-to-peer tutoring program that is to tackle the teaching assistant deficits in the school. Another is to engage the student at the school in regards to renegotiation and re-implementation of the auto-progression issue. And also, we do intend to be on the academic board to engage the school in terms of how they increase tuition and anything concerning the student body. We are winning together. That has been the slogan. It's not just Darlington wanting to win an election, but also wanting to win for the entire GIMPA student body. It's an all-inclusive SRC, and it's going to be a formidable one.
Tomorrow is what time?
Tomorrow election is happening Tuesday. Tomorrow between the hours of 8 to 5:30.
Okay.
If you're able to be there on time before 5:30, you can still stay in the line to vote. Just come with your student ID, and we're all here to assist. If you need busing or need any assistance getting to the location, we are here to provide all of those assistance.
Yeah.
When election is over, you come again.
Definitely.
Is that fair?
I'm more than excited to be here.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank
Wish you
you
all the
for
best
having me.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Ben.
Yeah. I just want to take opportunity to wish my colleague very well. I think he's a fine gentleman, just that he belongs to the wrong politics. I will urge all the students of GIMPA to vote for him. And I also urge him that if by God's grace he wins, he should actually implement the policies for which the students have voted for him, so that it will not be a disaster like the Bawumia Nana Akufo-Addo-led administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, for that.
Wow. Wow, Benjamin. All the best, darling. See you
Thank you very
later.
much.
All right, guys, so this day on the show.